Have you ever had a game that you take off a shelf or a box once in a while and play it? A game that you love so much that you still keep the console just to play that game. Despite the forward momentum of the gaming industry, you'll get more games, you'll get more consoles, heck, you might even get a PC. But knowing that you have that very special game that you can always hook up and play is an experience similar to watching your favorite movie or even your favorite show through some shape or form. It's the idea of reliving an experience that could never be replicated. And having that appreciation is what keeps you invested in a game that you hope maybe one day you can pass down to new generation who may appreciate the love of that game as much as you did. The fans that I spoke with for this particular video game do not have that option. Whether through legal or illegal measures, they cannot relive those experiences ever again. And yet, these fans remain passionate about a game they held in such high regards, as well as building communities, making friends, and discussing the game almost as if they can still relive those experiences spiritually, just not physically. These are the fans of LawBreakers, a multiplayer exclusive game that can no longer be experienced or replayed by these devoted individuals. We will see the rise, fall, aftermath, and hope from their perspective. We may have forgotten, but they did not.
Prepare for combat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Cliff Bleszinski was the founder of Boss Key Studios and served as LawBreakers game director, which was previously titled Blue Street. Having worked on franchises like Gears of War and Unreal Tournament, LawBreakers was a game that catered to gangs, guns, and gravity, according to Bleszinski. Movement and gunplay echoed that of his latter works in Unreal Tournament as a first-person arena shooter, while also emphasizing movement through jumps and maneuvering the terrain while attacking using different weapons based on your selected hero/role. LawBreakers, fan and community organizer for the game's subreddit, known as Bolt, explains a bit of the feel of the gameplay and how the game set itself apart from the subgenre of hero shooters that had been popularized with the likes of Overwatch. High skill, ceiling, movement. The game was crazy quick. Everything felt just right. It wasn't like Call of Duty. The kills felt satisfying since it was an AFPS with heroes. You could have your own playstyle. There was a lot of individual skill as compared to Overwatch, and there was a lot of outplay potential, even without aim. Closed alpha and beta testing would occur in mid to late 2016. An open beta was released on June 30th, 2017, which lasted until July 5th, followed by a second open beta from July 28th to July 31st for PC and PS4. The game would officially release on PC and PS4 on August 8th, 2017. The majority of players were first introduced to the game from its open betas, and for a fan like Reddit user SipSub, who goes by the first name Krishan, it was the game they could not stop playing. I got introduced to LawBreakers 2 months before release when the open beta was up and running, when I saw a lot of streamers that I followed playing it on Twitch. Watching the game was a great pastime for me. Then I got my hands on the beta myself and I fell in love with it. The characters, the guns, the feeling, the lines of the characters, and most importantly, the movement. Those were some of the many characteristics I was attracted to with LawBreakers. It was hard learning at first and I got completely destroyed for my first 4 or so hours into the game, but then I started to get a feel for it. Next hour, I was able to aim at the best of my abilities, and in the next hour after that, I was able to move the fastest. That is what kept me playing, just dedicating to playing better and having more fun.
Prepare for combat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Unfortunately, for as much as fans were having fun competing in their community, a combination of factors would prove to be a rough 8 months before the news of the game's failure in April 2018. For clarity's sake and my main focus on highlighting the fans of LawBreakers, I will link to several credible articles and videos highlighting the more intricate details and explanations of why LawBreakers failed as a game. In short, LawBreakers fans enjoyed the good and the bad of what the game offered upon its release. And with its release in August 2017, the small player base is what many would call the root of the game's problems. As Bolt recalls, before the launch and about a month into the launch, I really didn't think much of it. It's common for game populations to go down over time. Once October 2017 hit, though, it was obvious it wasn't doing well. They had a free weekend, as well as a sale, and it really didn't do anything. The people who played and enjoyed the game, but didn't want to buy it because the population was so low. About 300 people on PC. I said it back then too. It's such a crappy mentality. They don't buy the game because the population is low. Well, no wonder the population is low, because you won't buy it. You'd be surprised how many people have that mentality, especially those who enjoyed the game. With the shrinking player base who had purchased the game having difficulty in matchmaking from such a small population, the solution by the community led to the birth of LawBreakers 2.0, a Discord server that connected players who could set up games quicker with others who were online. In an article by Kotaku, who also took a look into the remaining players of this Discord server, they cited that discussion and subject matter was also typically unregulated and more loose, including those who used racial slurs and foul language. Almost as if fans were willing to roll with the punches in order to connect and continue playing the game they love for as long as they could. However, Bolt remembers more of the animosity that came with critics and haters that would make their way to the Discord, and what he feels fed into the fire of the game's eventual demise. Like I said, there was a lot of schadenfreude in terms of the game dying, which spawned many reactions. One of the most popular ones would be Krobcat's video. It speaks nothing about the quality of the game. The game was top quality, and remember, it got good reviews. But the video was quite popular and called the game dead less than a month after launch. When such a large audience thinks the game is dead, then no one's going to buy the game. It's hard for me to put the blame on one singular person or company. Like, in my opinion, it was just trolls and haters who killed the game. However, the perspective on the game's struggle to a dwindling player base was different to Krishan. I think there are a lot of things that led to the downfall. It being free to play at first, but then switching over to $30, Cliffy B's attitude, Boss Key being an indie studio, and most importantly, the timing of the release. I would blame Cliffy B the most because he was the person who decided the game should be $30 instead of free to play, according to Nexon's conference call after the servers shut down. The release date of the game was also bad, as PUBG had just came out and had all of its heat, and Overwatch was still very fresh and had its heat. However, like a monkey's paw, Krishan would get his wish of LawBreakers going free to play, only at the heavy cost of not being able to play the game after September of 2018.
Prepare for combat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Early June 2018. In light of the unfortunate news regarding Boss Key Productions shutting down, we regret to announce that we will be sunsetting our support of LawBreakers on September 14, 2018, as we are not able to operate the game. Our servers will remain open until then, and the game will be made free to play on Steam for all players, effective immediately. Please note that any and all new in-game purchases will also be disabled, and we will not be able to accept any refund requests. We truly appreciate your understanding in this difficult time, and we want to thank you all for your support and being a part of the passionate LawBreakers community. Thank you for staying with us throughout this journey. A final message from LawBreakers development team. From that news, fans like Bolt and Krishan were devastated, but soldiered on and enjoyed 3 months from a game they could never play again once the servers shut down. I remember a day or two before the servers shut down. I got into a late match at 5 p.m. in the evening, played Wraith, and I recorded it. And that was the last experience I had on the game. It was really disappointing letting go of the game, but I couldn't have done anything at that point, except for of course play it while it was still there. Bolt was able to record a final stream the day the game was to shut down. Here are just a few parts of that. As Bolt explained to me, the Discord and the subreddit would die down as soon as the game shut down its servers, with many fans moving on. But there's one part of this story that demonstrates hope and devotion from fans. Remaking the game from scratch. The Preservation Project from Discord user LRL64, which he named Newstreak in homage to LawBreakers' original name during development. After catching up with the user, I learned of LRL64's story on making a game with similar mechanics and gameplay as LawBreakers with his current team of 6 like-minded fans. They have devoted their own free time, as well as working together in different countries and time zones, to show their love and hard work on a game they could never play again. It began months before the shutdown announcement came. Don't remember exactly when. It was originally going to just be an effort to recreate the game. What it has become is its own thing, really. A full-blown game in the spirit of LawBreakers, but not actually following it to the letter. Regardless of their experience in game design, income, and other obstacles that would be less of a problem for a $1 million game studio, the team has no specific timeline or deadline for Newstreak's release, and development still continues. When I asked LRL64 on whether Newstreak will live up to the spirit and expectations of LawBreakers, the answer was no. We are very meticulous about stuff. Some would say too meticulous. We could have had a playable version out playing with the guys in Discord already if we were not as meticulous as we are. We have a huge focus on the movement, the whole momentum-based nature of the game. The game will not be a replica of LawBreakers. LawBreakers is LawBreakers. But for die-hard LawBreakers players, they should like it. Hopefully more people than just LawBreakers players end up liking it too. For fans like LRL64, putting in work to making a video game from scratch came from wanting to experience something he can no longer experience in its original form. But they're right. To them, LawBreakers is unlike any other game. That experience can't be replicated. I have written and spoken thousands of words to both Nexon and Boss Key Productions at that time. It has been said and in the past. Now I'm just focused on Newstreak. LawBreakers was one of my favorite multiplayer games of all time. I got over 1,000 hours in-game while it was with us. Wish it was still here, but it isn't, so we have to move on, and we have. Newstreak will hopefully rekindle that LawBreakers spirit, but it is some distance away in the future. Until then, it's just heads down, sleepless nights, loads of frustration. Typical game development stuff. As of the release of this video, Nexon has not released the server files, nor has made plans on turning back on the servers for the game. Whether they had moved on, took matters into their own hands, or keep on hoping, these fans will never forget what LawBreakers was, and they will continue to remember, even if it's all they can really do. Thank you everyone for your support, and thank you everyone who was involved in this documentary. Special thanks to Krishan, who was kind enough to get me an updated version of my logo, as well as contribute lots of fantastic info. Check out his YouTube link below the description. Beautiful work. Special thanks also to LRL64 and Bolt for giving me everything I needed in regards to the game and some old footage. Please support the official release of New Street when it eventually comes out. Looking forward to it. Also, check out all my sources in the description. Remember, we may have forgotten, but you did not.